Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. And, thank you to everyone at Why There Are Words, and Peg and Hal and Cass and Pam and everybody who makes Why There Are Words great. I feel honored to have been part of the team this past year and a half, and I'm honored to be reading here tonight and alongside these amazing authors. So like Peg said, I'm working on a humor nonfiction memoir called The Dubonicals. So these brief lines from the prologue are kind of an attempt to describe the work. So this is a story of turning away from self-destruction and turning towards self-creation. This is the story of a scared first-generation Guatemalan American child painfully transforming into a scared first-generation Guatemalan American adult. This is the story of how I, like most anybody, wouldn't be here without my parents. This is a story of how I fell in love and fell in love with myself. This is the story of the Dubonicals. So, this excerpt is from a piece about professional wrestling, and more specifically my brother and I playing professional wrestling. And in this latter half of the piece, there's some of the strangeness comes in the form of structure. So I'm imagining the voices of wrestling commentators narrating the action between us. So in this piece, I'm 11 years old, my brother Daniel is 7. My wrestling name in the piece is MAD for my initials, and his is Underdog because I was a butthead. It's called WW Me. Now that our match has officially started, I imagine the beloved commentators who call each match and who play an integral part in staging the drama. A kind of Greek chorus, they set the stage of past conflicts between the opponents, discuss the individual wrestlers' checkered pasts, give a play-by-play of the action, and escalate the drama of the physical story with narration. I imagine the two most legendary commentators calling mine and Daniel's match. Good old JR, Jim Ross, always roots for the good guys, the faces, and his thick Oklahoma accent. He shouts each, "Good God Almighty," like it was his last. The other is Jerry the King Lawler, a decorated former wrestler whose voice rises as the excitement of the match rises and who sympathizes with the bad guys, the heels. JR calls, "MAD just chokeslammed Underdog straight down onto the couch." King responds, "Underdog should have never gotten in the ring with MAD. Pound for pound, he's the toughest SOB in this house. He's just the better man." "The better man? King, what in the hell are you talking about? Underdog has a family too, damn it. This is just cruel. Underdog is taking a beating." "Wait, is that King, that son of a gun? Underdog is smiling." Daniel clutches his hand to his lower back as he rises, his big smile on his little face. "That is a bad move," King says. "You don't mock MAD and get away with it." JR notes, "Now we know these two men have had a storied rivalry, King. I know, JR, going all the way back to 1994, when the Underdog was born. MAD was just 5 then, but he knew right there and then that the Underdog was his enemy. MAD just never gave Underdog a chance, King. They're brothers, damn it." "Well, JR, sometimes being brothers doesn't mean that you love each other." "That's right, King. There is no love lost between these two siblings, and business is about to pick up." I tell Daniel, just as the wrestlers in the ring tell each other, what moves to do next. It's called calling the match, so you can coordinate and keep each other safe. But you both have to listen to the instruction, or else someone ends up hurt. "We're gonna do a double underhook face buster now, Daniel. You remember Triple H's special move, the pedigree. We're both gonna get on the couch, then I'm gonna put your head between my legs and hook your arms behind your back. Then when I jump up to put your face into the couch, you need to throw your legs back. Make sure to throw your legs back, or you'll hurt me." Except Daniel doesn't throw his legs back as I jump to land on my knees to execute the pedigree. Instead, he lands on his knees. His head instantly rises from between my legs to meet my jaw. I sandwich my tongue between my teeth, and copper blood and outraged pain fill my mouth. MAD is busted wide open. What a hell of a reversal, King. He is not going to take this lightly, JR. Just wait. I run to the sink and spit red spit for 10 minutes and assess my tender tongue. I can't let Daniel win. This might be staged, but it hurts so much. I can still hear the commentary despite my pain. And maybe you didn't see that one coming, folks. Looks like Underdog may be more underhanded than suspected. This has turned into one hell of a good old-fashioned slobber knocker. Can MAD fight back and steal the title he thinks is his? I don't know, JR, but I do know that these two are beating the hell out of each other. This can't be the end for me. I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. I'll pull a Shawn Michaels, a Rock, a Hulk Hogan, where when all seems lost, all energy reserve depleted, I spring up from the mat, pumped, righteous, adrenaline-fueled, much to my opponent's horror, to give one last push and claim my victory. I will continue the match. He needs to know who the best is. I see him there, standing in the ring, pretending to look concerned. He's really just showing off. The crowd cheers for him. Then I hear the crowd chant, "You suck," rhythmically at me, like a truth I can't escape. My swollen tongue articulates between my reddened teeth to yell from the kitchen to the ring, "It's time to end this, Daniel. You're done." Daniel has made it personal. We were just playing a game before, but now that he has one-upped me, I relish the opportunity to make him pay. Even though Daniel loves me blindly and always plays wrestling video games with me, I know he thieves love and more video games from me through his very existence. I will make sure this goddamn underdog pays the price of admission for his presence in my ring, in this house, in my life, and at the same time, I will ensure my victory in this contest for attention. He can't grow up with a title that is rightfully mine. I'm the best boy. I'm special. He is nothing compared to me. We may still love him, yes, but the champ demands deference. It's time for the finisher, the spear. A full body tackle combined with a clothesline. This is a move where I will only pretend to connect, because to do otherwise would surely prove disastrous. But how I want to connect and drive him to the ground. How I need to show him who is boss. Just stand right by this hallway wall, Daniel. Whatever you do, don't move, okay? MAD is going for the Spear King. This might be it, folks. Okay, I won't move, Daniel says, standing still by the hallway corner. Okay, don't move, I say one more time. My legs coil and spring, and I charge to the corner of the hall where Daniel stands. I extend my arm, ready to pretend to tackle him. He moves at the last second into my forceful embrace, and his head cracks sickeningly against the sharp corner of the wall. The crowd falls into a worried hush. JR erupts in excitement and concern. Good God Almighty, folks! Good God Almighty! He's killed him! As God is my witness, he is broken in half. Daniel's blood pours out freely as his tears, his brown hair matted to his skull by bright red streaks. The audience, commentators, and I look on, slack-jawed in a moment of amazement. JR pleads, "Will somebody stop the damn match? Enough's enough." The commentators are gone in an instant when I see just how seriously injured Daniel is. The blood runs in Daniel's eyes and mouth and down the back of his neck. The way scripted blood runs down the wrestlers' heads when they intentionally cut themselves with razor blades or with a calculated strike above the eyebrow. It's called showing color. But this blood is real. This blood is deeper and deadly. It is unscripted. It shows our true colors. Dad careens out of his room in an old black and white t-shirt. He runs down the hallway ramp to us. His coffee eyes burn, alight with terror and anger. The terror for Daniel, the anger for me. Hijo de la gran puta, Michael. If we have to go to the hospital, you are going to get it so bad, Dad says. I'm sorry, I whimper, concerned for my own fate, a little more than for Daniel's. Daniel continues to bleed through the blobs of white Nivea cream, the only thing my referee dad can muster to hold his lacerated scalp together. The smell is all at once too artificial and organic, and we wallow in his perfumed misery. Surprisingly, I am not hit with the belt for my excessive force. Dad unbuckles his brown belt on the table, curls it up as though he's ready to give it to me. He must see the fear he inspires at this moment, and he must not like it, because he then lowers his hand, and he does not hit me. My contact with the family isn't even suspended. I am the perfect heel, apparently. I can always get away with the worst. I am Austin, Michaels, Rock, Triple H. No, I'm better than all of them. I'm the best. And yet, I feel like I have failed somehow, like I exist incorrectly. Failure after failure, familial wound after familial wound. I find it harder to show my face to them, to be able to say to them and to others that I actually deserve any sort of title other than that of asshole. Daniel and I retire to the locker room, our shared room, afraid for our future careers. We fade from exhaustion upon our split bunk beds and clutch our turnbuckle headboards. I told you not to move, Daniel. Shut up, Michael. Hours later, when night comes, I watch from my bed as Daniel sleeps off what is most likely the second concussion I have given him in his short life. I force myself to feel remorse. I guess I don't want Daniel to die, but how can I climb the familial ladder? But then the real question catches me off guard, and my face turns down, and my brow furrows in a sad angle. How can I ever win doing the same dumb shit every Raw night? I rise from my bed and stand by Daniel's. I kiss his matted, pungent hair and whisper, "Lo siento, mi hermanito." The blue TV light fills the room. The bald, paya, tattooed rock trash talks a ripped and rippling Triple H, calling him a jabroni, telling him how he's gonna shine up his boot real nice and shove it up his candy ass. Then I fade to sleep myself.